Paradigms of learning. In general, paradigm means model or pattern. In psychology, paradigm means a set of theories or assumptions. In this video, we will see various theories of learning. Before going to the details, please remember to subscribe this channel. Thank you. Learning theories are usually divided into several paradigms, and it represents different perspectives on the learning process. The theories within the same paradigm, it share the same basic point of view. Currently, the most commonly accepted learning paradigms are behavioral learning theory, cognitive learning theory, constructivist learning theory, social learning theory, and experiential learning theory. Behavioral learning theory. It was founded in late 19th century. The founders and the proponents were John B. Watson, B. F. Skinner, Ivan Pavlov, and others. According to the behavioral learning theory, learning is a conditioned or operant response to the environment. That is, these theories are centered on environmental influences on the learning process. And the environmental influences includes association, reinforcement, and punishments. Learning through association is the classical conditioning, and learning through reinforcement is the operant conditioning. Learning occurs when behaviors are followed by either reinforcement or punishment. When a behavior leads to a desirable consequence, it becomes more likely that the behavior will be repeated in the future. So with reinforcement, the behavior will be repeated and the behavior becomes less likely if the action lead to negative outcome. That is, if the behavior it gets punished, then what happens is like it is less likely to be occur in the future. A detailed video on this topic, the classical conditioning and the operant conditioning, will be uploaded soon. Next is cognitive learning theory. The founders and the proponents are Noam Chomsky. This theory focuses on how the attention, memory, and information processing, how these things contribute to the acquisition of knowledge. One of the best known cognitive learning theories is Piaget's theory of cognitive development. Here in this theory, the mind is considered as a computer. What the computer does, it intakes the data, it is processed, and the information is provided. Likewise, the mind also, it intake informations. Then these information are processed and then it leads to certain outcomes. It means that people are rational beings whose actions are the consequence of thinking. So this is the cognitive learning theory. Next is the constructivist learning theory. The founders and the proponents were John Dewey, Jean Piaget, Jerome Bruner, and Lev Vygotsky. This theory characterizes that the learners, they are active participants in the process who play a role in constructing their knowledge. So the learning is a very active and the constructive process, and the learner, they will process the information and they construct their knowledge. Next is social learning theory. The founder and the proponent is Albert Bandura. Here, this theory suggests that learning occurs through observation. and the observation can take place at any time. It focuses on the give and take interaction between the social, cognitive, and environmental influences. For example, children, they observe the actions of people around them, particularly the caregivers, the siblings, and then imitate their behaviors. Learning something does not necessarily result in a behavioral change. Children frequently learn new things through observation, but might not engage in such behavior until they need or they are motivated to utilize the information. So children are frequently learning new things, but it doesn't mean that they express the behavior as soon as they observed. Sometimes they wait, they need to get motivated or until they need the behavior to be expressed. And sometimes this learning does not necessarily result in behavioral change. They learn and keep the knowledge with them. So this is the social learning theory. That is, through observation, the learning process occurs. Next is experiential learning theory. It is introduced by the psychologist David Coe. He was influenced by the work of Jean Piaget and John Dewey. According to him, 4 stages are there in experiential learning: abstract conceptualization, concrete experience, active experimentation, and reflective observation. The first two, the abstract conceptualization and the concrete experience, they relate to how people grasp the experience. The final two, that is the active experimentation and the reflective observation, they refer to how people transform the experience. So, people grasp the experience and then people transform the experience. So, that is the experiential learning theory. Let's have a quick recap on what we have learned. We have learned the paradigms of learning. Various theories are the behavioral learning theory, cognitive learning theory, constructivist learning theory, social learning theory, and the experiential learning theory. So these are the most prominent learning theories that have influenced our day-to-day lives. These theories have greatly influenced in teaching, parenting, and the helping professions like clinical psychologists, therapists, counselors, etc. Some of these theories are applied in conjunction with the other. For example, cognitive behavioral therapy. It makes use of 2 theories, the cognitive theory and the behavioral theory, simultaneously. And in rational emotive behavioral therapy, it uses 3 different modalities in order to help heal the emotional distress and the behavioral problems. So this is all about the paradigms of learning. Hope you like this video. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you and keep smiling.